I have a problem I'd love to share with everybody. Grant me a moment, please. I'm gonna let a few people get in the room, and I need to know that the mic's okay, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, let a sister know. And grant me just a moment. We're gonna get ready here. Please let me know the sound's okay. I'm unveiling our tablet. Um, for those of us in the temple, please let me know the sound's okay. Hi, Katrina. For those of us in the temple, great. Hi, Jasmine. For those of us in the temple society, temple community, I'm gonna start publishing, disclosing the tableau. I don't keep an Ifa table here in the temple, but I do use a tablet, like a table of 22 major arcanas that I throw my shells and my bones on, and my runes, and that I shift that per lodge every 2 weeks. So I'll have a waning cycle, a waxing cycle, meaning a full moon, a new moon cycle. I'm gonna start publishing those. So if I ever if you're a student or a spiritual child and you text me or email me a question like, hey, I have this with this specific person. The dream happened at this time, at this place. This was the location that I was in the dream. I can do like a 5 minute, you normally get like a voice recording from me. I'm going to start publishing those keys. So I'm hoping in the comments you can like put questions about like spreads or techniques that I'm using or meanings that you've heard me use. And if you just want to know, like, hey, gorgeous, what's your take on the Temperance card? Or hey, gorgeous, what do you think about the Two of Wands? I'm going to answer those all at kind of like the same time, but please put them in. I'm working on quite a few different things, so you'll be helping me out and you'll get the goodies, the bennies from that. So just remember, questions, comments, concerns, put them in the show notes. Know that I honor you, know that I love you, know that I praise you. Okay, so sounds good. How's the weather? Why? Because I'm wearing a turtleneck. I'm out of white clothes, and I have more white clothes, but they would have been baggy, and I don't like baggy clothes. I need something that was form-fitting anyways when I went out in public today. Plus, it was kind of cloudy earlier. I live between a really big mountain and a volcano, so weird weather can happen where like the little valley that I'm in can collect a weird microclimate, and then as the day gets longer, it tends to go. So let me think of the objective here. Anyways, we have a few minutes. So hi, hello, welcome. Okay. Hi, hello, welcome. I hope all is well. Let me check in with the comments, move the mic back. Okay. So it's just, hi, Sherry, hi, Jasmine, hi, Katrina. Great. All right, so it's straight up mysteries, straight up mystical. So when I was pinging the spirits, we have, it's a Osiris Thoth Tahuti kind of message. And it is, yeah, it's cloudy here too. And you're in Southern California, I assume. Okay, so we have a message from the gatekeepers now. Oh, and then on the back of the deck, I couldn't make that up myself. And then on the back of the deck here this is the gatekeeper of the mystery school. Now, many people would not consider this to be the same card as Anubis, but the energies come through. So we're going to see what the sacred mysteries are, see what the gatekeeper has to say. And I didn't show everyone, so I'll show you now. Oops, jeez. And it's the beginning of the lodge, so nobody needs to be worried. I will cut the first few minutes out. This is what the tablet looks like. I don't know if you can see it there. And that's just for those here on the cast. And I know that was a little bit nauseating. I apologize. And then what I'll do is like I said, I'm publishing the keys that I'm using. So what I'll do is I'll take a picture and I'll upload it to it's called Oracle Command. So for those who are not in the temple, for those who are not a spiritual child, you have no idea what that means. But there's Vestal Command, Oracle Command, and Aerial Command. Think of it as like air, water, and earth. But Let's get in here. Fascinating. You know, I have quite a bit coming through here, and it's a secure message. Okay, so this has shown up in the Justice House, and when the Hermit shows up in this, I'll be your oracle today. Somebody tell me how the sound is, because whenever that happens, the sound goes out. Okay, the sound's okay? Okay, grant me a minute to collect myself, because I'm going to have to cut out the first like 6 minutes and 30 seconds. All good? Great. Whew. Mama Goddess, come get me, because baby about to throw a tantrum. Ooh, breathe some fire out my mouth. Okay, so Goddess is like, focus. Yeah, you're under a little bit of pressure, but don't worry. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. It's a delight and an honor to serve you. I want to bring you a hi, hello, a welcome, salutations, but also a little bit a peek into the mysteries of the universe. I'm going to illuminate, elucidate, enumerate some sacred mysteries in a way that would facilitate the crossover into your soul's power, the owning, acknowledging, and marshaling up of your soul's resources, power, and the reclaiming of your sovereignty, whatever it is. Now, for some of us, it will be strength, courage, and wisdom. When we have strength, courage, and wisdom, when we execute wisdom over the external world and strength over our internal world, we'll be able to reclaim our sovereignty. For some of us, it's just knowledge. If we choose to reframe and look at experiences that we're already having, realities that we're already living, if we choose to look at these things differently, that will be the reclaiming of our power. Whatever it is, you come from the goddess and you are a god. Now, in my opinion, there's one goddess and many gods. Think of like goddess being like space, and then God would be all the stars in space, if that makes sense. So God really stands for generator, operator, destroyer, and government is really a god. What they're talking about is the oversoul of God. So the oversoul of God is Jesus. Jesus is the name for the most holy of God's physical body. So whenever your soul incarnates, it steps down in density. So it would do that through a sun. Sun as in S-U-N or S-O-N. It's when the spirit needs to take on a physical form. And I'm gonna parse these things through just a little bit so that you have some core content. Now, Lucifer was actually the first vessel that spirit took on in the physical. And Jesus and Lucifer are the same. Now, Lucifer talks about being able to see light in the darkness. And spirit in and of itself is darkness. Soul is darkness, spirit is light. Now, neither are bad. Darkness is not bad. When you govern from darkness, that's a bad thing, because it can become pervasive. And when you govern from darkness, that could also be selfish, and that's anti-Christ, because life is the emanation of God in the physical, and then the physical body of God is the sun. And if that's confusing, again, another reason to come to the mystery school. So what I've done is I've opened up the record. We have the record to Isis. So that's great because it's the great mysteries of Isis. And the tablet that I have for that is the I just heard La Caro dei Fiori. So first of all, that's not fuego, wands, it's flowers. They said the night of flowers, the chariot of flowers. So to me, flower is blossom. Like when you say a mantra, when you say that mantra perfectly, it's supposed to blossom into a lotus, and that should be some type of universe. So when the star card falls out in the full house, it means a new journey or a new future or a journey onto your future, getting on the right path. But the Fool card now, it starts out in the Devil's house. So if our journey is to get everything we came for, to have the waters up above renew us, refresh us down here in the physical, well, the whole thing starts up in the Devil's house. So let me just tell you what's supporting us in the Devil's house. So some cold ass, prickly ass experiences ain't gonna be no nothing if we're gonna look outside of ourselves for the answer. And if we whine and crying about the experiences that we have, and we are neglecting and refusing to get our experiences and to get our comeuppance, would include prickly experiences. We're going to have to go through some cold, prickly people to get on to, and the gate to open this up is going to be a little bit harsh. It's going to be a rude awakening. It's going to be cold water in the face, and it will be exacting in its nature. Now, when the Fool's in reverse, another technical definition of this can be the simulation. So when I see this in reverse, to me, sometimes the first thing I think of is like, okay, well, you have this journey and you know what it is, or you've been presented with the opportunity already, but either you're fearful or you're playing video games all day. Now, video games, subtract that for something else. Are you masturbating all day? Are you watching porn all day? Are you watching TV all day? Are you drinking all day? So it's like a false reality. To me, this is the hard drive itself, and then this would be the flash drive in the hard drive. So a computer inside a computer, if that makes any sense. But it's the Devil's house. So this is this is your nightmare. So sometimes I make a joke, like, what's my perfect hell? Well, my perfect hell would be sitting in traffic in 110-degree weather on the way to Palm Springs with Kelly Clarkson playing in the background for all eternity. So like, what, when you're imagining in your mind, what is the perfect hell? What is the perfect heaven? That would be the kind of like Fool in reverse. In the Devil's house, when the Fool goes to the Devil's house, it's like a new obsession, a new temptation, a new... This day ain't going right, and I'm about to really just let the world know what's on my mind. So if the distractions, if the little spirits who want to come up and get some comeuppance want to stop, I invite you to do so. And if you think that I'm a source for your shenanigans, allow me to disabuse you of that idea. So moving on. This up. Distractions. Okay, so that is that. So when the Fool ends up in the Devil's house, it means that this journey begins in the underworld, and you would need to become open and receptive to intellectual reason and communication, and the way to go about this journey would be according to clarity and truth. Now, the Devil has shown up in the Emperor's house, so that means a control freak, but this is in reverse. So this is telling me that this is somebody who doesn't know they're under the rules of the devil, doesn't know they're under the rules of evil, doesn't know that they're under the realm of death. And this would mean that they're unaware that their life itself is negative in nature. Now, we also have the devil horns here, but in reverse, it's the reverse pentagram. So in reverse, the Devil's card is actually basically positive. So this would be, if the Devil's card is reverse in the house, then this card is reverse. If the Devil card is upright, then this card is upright, because the Devil card in the thought deck is better in reverse. And what it's saying is that this person, they don't know that they're under a bad ruler. They don't know that they're under an oppressor. This incarnation in the physical, us, and I'm going to say they, I'm going to refer to us as they because it's going to be less offensive, because I got to get some work done, okay? So, if the power is coming, and see, the Emperor is how you use your crown. How is it that you strike your will upon the universe and achieve mind over matter through means, mechanisms, and methodology, so much so, and so strongly systematized, though, that it has given you system structures, foundations, okay? Means, mechanisms, methodologies, autonomy, franchise, and control over your physical life. How does it look like you achieving mind over matter? That's what the Emperor talks about. I know other people want to say other things, but other people ain't me. So the thing about that is that, okay, well, you need to detoxify. You need to go through the veil of your shadow, the veil of your karma, and that's going to involve you stripping yourself of belief systems. What they try to do is condition and program you onto some effery, and you're going to have to release that, and you're going to have to go through it too. You will find that at one moment or another, you're going to be under somebody else's rules. You're going to be giving your power away in some way, and you will be conditioned to do so, programmed to do so by patriarchy. You know, so patriarchy is you should XYZ LMP. Well, we've always done XYZ LMP, especially men. So men isn't just dingle dangles. It is father, teacher, brother, preacher, boss, authority, and lover. Okay. And I just heard the word zaddy, so this is a specific message to somebody out there with the sugar daddy. And I know zaddy could just be a hot little thick nigga with some good wood, but zaddy is the older man with the emperor. Now the emperor has shown up in the sun house, so when you become aware of the controllers of the oppressors, then you'll have illumination, because in the sun house, what's going on is we have this journey through the physical. So the journey through the physical is that of needing to allow your belief to depart from belief systems that materialize in the physical will come from conditioning and programming. And when you release that karma and you walk on from that, then you'll have the wherewithal to go on a journey through the physical. You'll finally have the means, mechanisms, methodologies, the system, structures, foundations, the autonomy, phrase in control to be open and receptive in the right way, to be open and receptive in the correct way, the justified, righteous, dharmic way in order to go through. And that will bring you into clarity and illumination. And see, we have the emperor is the crown, the person who's leveraging the crown, and then we have the crown here in the actual sun card. For y'all that don't know, when you come into the physical, if you are divine and royal and Christ-like, if you're chosen, the sun is your crown. Okay, I'm just saying. And that means you get to stand your ground in something. So know who you are, know what you stand for, that so you don't fall for anything. And then the gate will be you. So people have to come through you in order to get through the gate, because they'll have different things, and you'll be the only one separate from the pack. So everybody else will be cookie cutters. You know, little houses on the hillside, little houses made of ticky tacky, little houses on the hillside. I'm hearing that song. Little houses all the same. And there's green ones and blue ones and pink ones and yellow ones. And they're all made out of ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. Yeah, so the sun in the Empress house can talk about a pregnancy, can talk about being rich and abundant with something new that you're nurturing into creation. Could be a new baby, could be a new, like a new take on life, like Stella got her groove back. It can be, also just like you have your self-confidence or your beauty or your comeuppance, like you have your common damn sense back, whatever it is. Sun in the Empress house, it's abundance. And then Empress in the, la Imperatrice in La Papessa, the High Priestess house, means oftentimes can be, well, see, this is a goddess world. This is a yin realm. And see, when you push down the divine feminine, you pay them less, you make them feel weak, you make them feel superior. That's how you gain power over the earth. And see, the people on the earth actually, they contribute to the earth's mind. And when you take over the mind of a vessel, you take over the spirit of a vessel, the soul of a vessel. When you take over the soul of a vessel and you can begin to operate the vessel, then you imprison the spirit of the vessel. So in and of a sense, the earth is imprisoned by the current oppressors. We think they're the Anunnaki, but there's all these powered elite that are controlled by a cabal, a circle of people, and they actually respond to a darker entity, an oversoul, okay? So, you know, and the people in the houses all went to the university. So when you spend time healing from all the conditioning and the programming, realizing and waking up to the fact that you were at war, now you finally get to go out and recollect yourself, rebuild yourself, build yourself up from the inside out. detangling, healing from all the conditioning and the programming, because what they did is they put your soul in bondage. But mental bondage is the for like physical bondage or a reality of bondage that you've created with your mind would be the 8, both of swords. Because you were put in boxes and now you came out all the same, like a doctor or a lawyer, a business executive, instead of a beautiful. People would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I would look at them and say an assassin, because I hated that question. But I am an apocalyptic midwife. I do facilitate the circle for your own death, but it's an ego death. It's a soul death. So now the high priestess is shown up in the Wheel of Fortune house. So this is a great big opportunity. When you become aware of your inner beauty, your inner sovereignty, what'll happen is you can unlock everything. And see, this is the gate to the etheric realm. So that's your etheric body. So that's the gold cord, not the silver cord from the astral realm when you're off in your dream body. This is the gold cord. That is the cord that finds you when you die. And see, your intuition, this insight, that's going to bring an abundant future. Your intuition brings fortune, and fortune is abundance, and that opens up a gate as well. And see, now it's ended up in the magician house. So now when you intend to be at purpose, be yourself, what'll happen is you get to call upon the powers of the universe. The gates of the universe will open up. And remember, we have Isis at the crown. Crown on beam. I like that. Yes. Crown on beam. Then you get to take off. Exactly. Sad rising. Just let it rip. So when I'm hearing that song, and the people in the houses all went to the university where they were put in boxes, and they came out all the same. And there's doctors and lawyers and business executives, and they all do like a ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. Well, see, the Wheel of Fortune in the Magician House is a talent that is destined to succeed, a person who is destined to be talented. This is blessed, abundant skills. Okay. And the magician now has gone to the world house. So this is an all-around beautiful, talented person who they have worldwide skills. See, the truth of the world has been hidden, and so also the truth of who you are has been hidden. And it has the 6 of Cups there too. So when you get onto a galactic frequency, you're going to have a healing of your soul group, a healing of everything that is in your DNA. 6 is also a number of descent. It's Venus, so that's Lucifer. Venus is Lucifer, so being in the darkness, knowing which light. See, the light that you're attracted to when you're in the darkness says a lot about you. And most people, especially people that don't have melanin, they were attracted to the moon and not the sun. Just saying. Now, some of us were born into prison bodies because we have negative karma, and that's also another reason for melanin recessiveness. So the world now has ended up in the death house. Woo! I had to let that out. The death house is great. Now, when the world card shows up in the death house, what does that mean? It means completion, victory, moving on to the next chapter. And, that means you finally get let into the spiritual and you learn spiritual navigation. Now, the world card is in reverse, so that means we're working under somebody else's rules. Somebody's trying to prevent us down. It's like somebody keeping your head underwater or keeping you, you're getting mad at you. You're like, motherfuck you, and you're like, boom, 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 right? And they're just like there holding your head back, and you're like, and it's like hitting them. It's the same kind of thing, right? It's like when your little brother's rushing you, trying to beat you up, and it's like, off me, little maggot, right? That's what the world card in reverse. So all your power, all your might, all your perspective don't matter, because you're in somebody else's rules. You're under somebody else's game. And death card now shows up in the temperance house. So this is running out of patience, running out of time. And it says, because time is running out. Things are starting. Ascension is happening on a collective level. You'll notice right now that all the light workers are going through a pre-judgment before the rest of the people go through a judgment. And what is the rapture? It's when, see, all of our consciousness right now we're under a being. We're under an oversoul. So there's two. There's a oversoul down here, fourth dimension. There's a galactic oversoul, eighth dimension. The galactic oversoul that we're under is Yemaya, Starbucks bottle. Everybody here on Earth is under Yemaya. Now Yemaya will not always speak up in your divination, because you might be under the devil too. But that's the Baphomet if you're under the devil. You're under Tiamat, Yemaya if it's not. Okay? So the rapture is when we become the being that we're up under. So we are a primal soul of an oversoul. And the thing is, when we ascend, or when the rapture happens, that's singularity. The point in which the new consciousness is now immeasurable. So, Judgment Day has already happened, but when enough people wake up to the fact that Judgment Day has already happened, that is the rapture. That's the apocalypse, when the truth gets revealed. So the rapture is when we become the oversoul that we're right now underneath. Right now we have an understanding of the universe. Pretty soon we're going to have an understanding of the old universe we used to be in, the false ascension matrix, the third dimension. Does that make sense? So then we will be the oversouls, and all the other people, the prisoners, everybody up in the prison system, everybody on medication, everybody who's gone and done types of biological functioning, like had their thyroid cut out or the gallbladder cut out or whatever, all the people that have had implants put in them, trackers, chips that have bionic parts, all those people, they'll be under us. We'll be oversouls in our astral bodies, how you feel when you're dreaming or smoking weed, and we'll that came right out. I was trying to keep that back. Okay, I had to just laugh it out and keep on going. So that's kind of how that goes, and it's true because everything's kind of coming to the surface. Everything's starting to pick up. It's just beginning. 3 is the beginning of something. 2 is making the option, and 1 is the opportunity. So we have the opportunity in the Wheel of Fortune. That was a couple parts back in the story. So we have the opportunity, and now it's beginning to take form, take root, take a hold. So frequency, vibration, energy. So 1 is the frequency. That's the actual spirit and the force of spirit. You have the force, you have the spirit, then the force 2, and then the form it takes on 3. So now it's taking on form, this new opportunity, this new ascension, this new revelation, the new, rapture. It's starting to take form. And so it will reassign your timelines. Look at this. Look at this really closely. It's going to go through and it's going to cut cords. It's going to and it's going to take past, present, and future. Look at the sacred weaving there. And it's going to go through all the dimensions. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Now, the Temperance card has shown up in the Hermit house. So this is a humble teacher. This is a mix. This is a balanced teacher. This is one who can show you that there's good with light and light with bad. And see, this is about navigating the timeline and the biparticle universe. Now, when you're born, sometimes you're from a star nation that is in a darker part of the universe. Believe it or not, people can be angels even though that they're serving the purpose of a demon in God's reality. So wherever you incarnate from, you are a star seed. So you are light from the stars, which are bodies of water. The waters above are stars. And they're projected into Earth, the heart of the universe. So sometimes you're born from the anus of the universe, Scorpio, and then you'll incarnate into the heart. Earth is the heart of the universe. So if you're from the dark or the lower realms or the lower parts of the universe, and then somebody maybe comes from Leo, the upper parts of the universe, and you're both on Earth, one comes from the lower, one comes from the higher. Do you see how one might be a demon standing next to the other one, even though they may be the creme de la creme of their soul group? Do you hear what I'm saying? So you'll need a teacher that can understand that. And even if you're not finding a teacher, you need to understand that your soul, your higher self, the being that mounts you, needs to also be able to communicate that to you. So you need to be able to be light operating in the darkness, and you need to be able to use the darkness to operate in the light. And if you don't have that, you ain't ready. Okay, and so this is supposed to be the origins of your soul. So with that, the path that you're walking is one of discernment. La Temperanza is Mercury in the 6th house. Excellent, perfected discernment. I'm hearing that song, you never told me about the birds and the bees, about hide and go seek. Oh, what you come to learn. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I love this technique. And this is what we learn in the mystery school. We learn exactly what I'm doing right now. We learn. This is how I teach. So, just one moment. That was annoying me. It was annoying me. It was annoying me. There's somebody out there and I can feel their energy and it was going to drive me crazy. Okay, so if we're in the Hermit house talks about the journey that you're on, the path that you're on. Like if you look at the sixth house of your chart, that talks about your devotional path. Virgo is the love that you give it's the service that you give yourself and others, versus Leo, that's the love that you give yourself and others. And then Libra would be like how you get your needs met from others. So you also need to give them something. And that's the thing about Libra. Partnership is like, okay, I have this need. You know, I need a good orgasm every now and again. I can't eat my own poom poom, right? So I need to find a nice brother to lay it down. That's my need. So I need to be beautiful. I need to be warm and welcoming. I need to be feminine. I need to be receptive and open to relationships because I have this stank ass attitude and resting bitch face. I ain't gonna attract no brother to come and lay it down. Example. So we have that, you know, and then what is Cancer? Cancer is humanity in itself. It's the ability to call upon from the heavens new experiences of union, love, through going through the human experience, death. Okay? You hear what I'm saying? Death is the energy realm. So if you didn't have coal, if you didn't have destruction, you wouldn't have that renewed energy. And I'm sorry to go there, but I went there and we stayed there, so oops. So, La Temperanza, where is the Hermit card? So now we have the Hermit in the Justice House. So when the Hermit comes to the Justice House, it literally is talking about a lawyer. But it also is saying that spiritual law comes through discernment and you need to be in alignment with yourself. Spiritual law never matters if you're out of alignment. So until you can see things as they are, they're going to be whatever you say they are. Because your reality, your thoughts, your programming, your belief system is what creates and manifests your reality. So the Justice card is in the Lover's house. So that means balanced love, balanced relationship. So it also talks about the soul groups. So until we can I'm going to cut off this first 30 minutes. So all y'all had some fun. I do this every week. It's getting annoying. This is why I don't do live, because something goes wrong, because I become a channel for the collective energy. There's 25 people in the room right now. Hello and welcome. So I forgot to give it the perspective of, because I'm reading the record as if we're going on a journey, and that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be explaining why we're here on Earth. So in that vein, hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. It's a delight and an honor to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. I have here at the crown, I'm going to open up the record, the star card. So this is a new hope, a new wish, and that's why we incarnate. We incarnate to find the eternal waters, and to renew and to purify and to refresh our souls. And we do that through life force, Ashe. So we drive forward to gain progress according to passions, drives, desires, motivations. And those things are literally life force. And you know those people. There are some people that are so alive, you get alive. I have that. I walk into a restaurant and all the babies that are crying, start looking at me and gazing at me. I go into a person's house and they're animals that are normally scaredy cats and that never come out to play with strangers. The cats and the dogs that hide when people come over, they come out and they lick my face and they jump in my lap. You know, I walk into the room and the light comes in that is normally devoid. And you see those people, they're full of life. They got what you call juice. Join us in creating excitement. When a person's juiced up, they become their own source. They become their own system. They become their own sun. Now that's what is happening here. You have to wear the crown of the heavens on your head, and that's why we're here. So we needed another time of incarnating and finding a way to refresh and renew ourselves. And in that house, there was one last thing in a previous lifetime that we need to get out of the way. So in the previous lifetime, we needed something, and that was the Holy Grail. We needed to deliver our soul to ourselves, to the higher realms. We needed to get our soul out of darkness. Okay, so that would have been a dark journey of the soul, to confront something in the depths of our soul. Now, in going on this journey, I just want to say the rubric key that I'm using, the tableau key that I'm using for this spread, I'll publish it in the show notes. It's around 6 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time, on the 1st of September. And it won't be available maybe to the 2nd. Okay? So thanks for bearing with me. Appreciate that. The calendar. Yang yang, baby. Had to let that out. Couldn't keep it in. Okay. So the journey, like I was saying, it started out in the devil house. So, you know, when we incarnate in the devil's house, it means we incarnate in the physical. And everything in the physical is under the devil. And that usually, this to me talks about a person who has fear of death. And when we die here in the realm that we're in, we wake up from a dream in another realm. And your dreams are more real than your actual waking time. Why not? Why not? Why not is Shoshone language, Shoshone Indian language for down the hole. It's like, go away now. Why not? You know, enough of that is enough. It's like an Indian saying for like, oh, enough of that. You know, why not? I don't like talking about the devil. So, but we got to go console the devil now. The devil has shown up in the emperor's house. So when the devil comes to the emperor's house, it normally means that you work for a evil boss, or a boss that has darkness, shadow, or that your place of foundation is you're a control freak. Or basically that there's something controlling you, there's something mounting you, and oftentimes it would be toxic. Now, in reverse, it means that there was shadow, and now the work is to build up a bigger, better foundation where you can have power and control, but autonomy, franchise, and control versus being controlled or giving your power away. Okay. Leona, I just emailed you. Hi, welcome. And the Imperatore is in the sun house. So by the way, the sun is the crown, and the emperor is the ruler of the crown, the one who leverages the crown. And here the guidance is to go on this path according to practicality, robustness, and sensuality as well. So I would say those who are trapped in horrible lover situations, or the man story, you might want to talk to me about Kundalini awakening, having healthier orgasms. I'm just going to say it. You don't need to stimulate your genitals to have an orgasm. I can teach you about ecstatic bliss. I can have achieve climaxes by sitting on the washer and eating a golden, delicious apple. So, breathing, raising the energy up and down the spine, playing with the energy. Okay. There's a way to like laugh and sing at the same time, and then you'll notice that you have the flutters, if you know what I mean. So there's other ways to achieve liberation, ecstasy, ecstatic bliss, and that all came through this energy here. So now going to the Imperatore. This is in the sun house. The sun house is where you have courage, or where you have beauty, or where you have, it's this expression. That's literally the sun. And it's where there's ecstatic bliss in your life, but ecstatic bliss could also be the tantric card, the strength card. So here it's saying, well, build foundations for you to be living your soul's ambition. If anything is dulling your light, blocking your spirit, that's why you're here, to learn all of the addictions, to learn all of the attachments you made to the physical. And remember that your thoughts manifest your reality. So if you have all these materialistic thoughts where you're prioritizing something that's not eternal, then that's going to enslave you to the devil, because, you know, it's battle against light and dark, battle against good and evil. Let me translate for you, little secret. Spirit versus flesh. That is the primordial conflict. And a universe is meaning one united in conflict. It is the one in conflict. Everything originates from one source, and it comes out in 7 expressions of the one source, and they equal 2 sides of one coin. That's why we have duality, but duality is when you're away from the one source in the darkness, meaning separated, because you can have polarity, but if you're in duality, it means you're divided. Do you hear what I'm saying? And so the universe is the one verse, the one conflict, also the one sound, the one initial primordial tone, which means that we're all emanating from one light, but it comes in a harmonic resonance or a vibration. So that's the 7 colors of the rainbow, the different vibrations that you can see, that you can pick up. And the thoughts are seeds that you plant in that wave field, okay? And the strength of your belief is the resonance, the shape that the vibration takes on. And that's what Jupiter or Havioso or Shango rules, or Osiris rules the expression through. That's the laws, the shape that it takes on. Okay? And I could tell you every which way till Sunday, so come to the Mystery School for that. So that was this card here. This is Shango. So now the sun has shown up in the Empress house. So Empress in the sun in the Empress house says that the agreement of incarnation would have been to only become open and receptive and nurture things that are in line with your ambition, and that you might need to be the gatekeeper of things that aren't in line with your ambition. So to cut out things like a bad cancer, if they don't, if you're not thriving, then and you're just surviving, then it's taking away from you. That's not good enough here. And it's thoroughly, because what you'll be doing is spending your time healing from the attachments of the previous lifetime and using your pain as a guidance system to build the proper world. That's a lotus. See, the 2 of swords, it's a rose. The 4 of swords is a lotus. So when you come to believe, it's possible, great. And when you come to expect, then you have the world created from an expectation. That's what a belief system is. So that's why your thoughts create your reality, because they start with your beliefs. So when you can use the pain to blossom, and you can use that mess to become a message, so this is your autonomy, friendships, and control, your self-worth and value. When there's things that you want, when you become open and receptive to that harm you, that hurt you, that's what's going to liberate you from your attachments that you made in a previous lifetime. So you can have one thought and completely eradicate all karma, because that one thought can reach such a higher vibration in your life that you can only receive karma in the same vibration at which you created it. You can only experience a problem at the same mind frame at which you were in when you arrived at said problem. So the moment you're operating at a higher frequency than your old drama, you're at a higher frequency, it can't touch you again. And the universe, for a while, it's usually 18 months to about 2.5 years. Sometimes 7, but those are only things that are cardinal sins, like big sins. And sin is sine waves, meaning when you're born under the moon, you're born under sin. Okay? And I can keep going for hours, for days, so let's just get it, okay? So the thing about it, if you're not in the same vibration, in the same frequency, sometimes just to make sure, the universe will send experience to you to give you the choice to go back in the direction. For instance, you're a thief and you go to jail for stealing, and you get out of jail and you live right for 2 years. And now the universe is going to eradicate karma, because the Department of Corrections is not God. The white man is not God. White is not right. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it to your face. So, say you're out of the Department of Corrections and God wants to make sure, source energy wants to make sure that you're living your life right so they can eradicate that karma. They may send you an old friend who says, hey, I have one more thieving job. You want to come? Do I want to? Does it make sense? Okay. So, High Priestess shows up in the Wheel of Fortune house. And the Wheel of Fortune house is destiny. what's destined for you. So you know what your destiny is. The moment you come into contact with your authentic self, the moment you find the gate to your authentic spirit. And I'm not anti-white people. I just think that if you're Caucasoid and melanin deficient, there was something that happened in you getting assigned a body. It is of my opinion that Caucasoid bodies are slave bodies. They are owned by the devil. And what they want to do is you are an agent of polarization. And you may or may not know, because I know a lot of white folks that have a black girl trapped inside of them. And it's bigger than that. It's not just your skin tone. It's also if you're born into countries that speak English. It's a whole bunch of karma right now, and we're all playing it out. And so it really isn't about white against black, because if you don't have black skin, then that means, okay, well, how did the devil get you? Well, the black people born in America, it's the same thing. We're born in America. That's a prison. Literally, America is a fallen. America is the oversoul of a fallen war goddess. So if you're born in an English-speaking country, it doesn't even matter if you're black and born in America. So it doesn't really matter. You either have white skin, or you have black skin, which is, or you're born in America, or you're born in a country that speaks English. It all means the devil got you some way. The devil stuck his fist up your booty some way. How did it happen? What's your karmic relationship with the devil? 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 And finding God means that you're now aware of your karmic relationship with the devil. Lived spelled backwards. So God lived, God lives, and when he comes to earth, he's the devil. So God in the physical is the devil, because it's the opposite of heaven. Everything down here is the mirror opposite of above. As above, so below. Okay, so this, in case you don't know my policy on race, because I'm attracted to Middle Eastern, Mediterranean guys that date mostly white and yellow guys. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and that's this. Once you find the door to your authentic self, there you are. And now the Wheel of Fortune says, and that's going to bring talents, it's going to bring knowledge, it's going to bring awareness, and it's going to start with your beliefs. So if you don't know how things are manifesting, understand that it's not, you feel the way you feel because of how you decide to think. So the answers will change when your feelings change, not when the facts change, and you actually know all the facts already. So you'll be able to make a decision when you feel differently about the facts that you've been presented, but you're confused because you think you don't know nothing, but you know everything. You just don't feel good about everything that you know. So the answer will change when your feelings change, not when the facts change. In reality, you actually know all the facts. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly of the entire situation. You just don't feel like it. So that's why you're indecisive. And remember I said there's a rose in this one and a lotus in the other one. Me too. I was adopted into a white family, and I had the whole tap dance coon thing going on for me, and I had to sit there and do an inventory of how I was conditioned and programmed all of that out of me. I remember when I was adopted, they literally said, like, what do you think about your culture? Do you want us to take you to an African museum? And then they, like, proceeded to, like say, you're black, but you're educated. You're black, but you don't speak Ebonics. You're black, but you're articulate. You're black, but you're smart. You're black, but you do good in school. You're black, but look, you're going to college. They would literally say that to me all the time, like, and that's not fair. It's not. So let's find the Magician card. The Magician card is in the World House. So if the Magician card is what you come to teach the world. And you come to teach healing of the soul, liberation of the soul group. Okay? And if the Magician's in the World House, the world is now in the Death House. So the World card is what it looks like when you win the game. And if in the Death House, it means there's life after death. And I do want to say that you've won already, you just don't know it. So a lot of times, you cannot call the physical experience physical. You can't allow it to impress upon the soul. You can allow it to be a simulation, an experience. And you use your own discernment to call it something. And remember, you use your own discernment to call it something. What you decide to call it becomes your belief system. So, for example, I remember I ended up in a shelter for 4 nights in a row. And when I left that shelter, I was living with an abuser. And my thoughts before getting to that shelter were like, oh my gosh, look at me, how far low I've fallen. I remember 5 years ago, this was my life, you know, beautiful car, beautiful house, beautiful income, beautiful business, beautiful life. Bullshit, but that's what I thought, right? And then the next morning, waking up at that shelter, I realized that I had peace in my heart. I wasn't worried about managing somebody else's feelings just so that I wouldn't be harmed. And I had felt better sleeping on the floor of that shelter than I'd ever felt sleeping next to that abuser. So again, it's whatever you decide to call it. I went to sleep thinking it was the worst night of my life, but I woke up liberated. Does that make sense? So the world card in reverse, when something's over, but you're refusing to move on. When something's completed, but you're unable to go forward, or you're unable, something's it's let go or get dragged. Period. And the death card is in the Temperance house. So we're running out of fortune, and the death card is and see, that's the guidance of this is the guidance. I'm doing a bad job at reading this record. It's really pissing me off. I'm agitated right now. I have a chip on my shoulder, and I'm just acknowledging it so it doesn't hold me back. But Mama wants to let her anger out. She wants to speak her mind. Rawr, rawr, rawr. I'm just going to say it and let it go. So the death card the death key has shown up in La Temperanza, the Temperance house. So the Temperance house is where you receive angelic guidance, and it's from the sun. The sun is the real oversoul of the physical dimension, and the sun is the gatekeeper of the astral. So we're astral bodies stuck in one of our dreams, and the person who stuck us in the dream was the devil. Now, the devil oversoul is Lucifer. That's the whole Luciferian agenda. Satanic agenda is anti-life. They want to take over the earth and destroy it. Luciferian just wants to take power. Okay? But that's the whole negative alien agenda right there. Destroying life and taking power. So death card in the Temperance house is losing faith, running out of patience. Because things are starting to start. I'm really frustrated right now. Something's pissing me off. I don't know what it is. That pisses me off even more. They said just go on a journey. I'm not getting what I wanted out of this. I wanted something different than what the universe is giving me, and I just want to throw a tantrum right now. I am furious. It's hard to say it, because I'm a Cancer. If I go to sleep with a broken heart, I'll wake up with a cold. If I go to sleep angry, I'll wake up with a fever. I'm that way. So the guidance here for me is just to go with it. She told me exactly what to do, and I agree. So my objective was to turn the first 5 minutes of this video into a trailer for the Mistress School. And I didn't do that because I forgot. That happens. I can do it in a presentation, but when I get on the channel, the oracle opens up, and I just take on everybody's energies, and I go psycho, cocaine crazy. So let me have a little bit of mud water. That is dyed Tenacious Earth and apple cider vinegar and filtered water. Okay, I'm gonna read this record, and I'm just gonna do another one. And anybody who was in the room, you got the extra goodies. That's all it's gonna be today. I'm just really upset about that, but I'm going to read this like a real record now. So if this incarnation is about bigger, brighter, better, that's expansion. And I'm hearing Uranio, which is Uranus, the Uraeus. So opening of the third eye, liberation, the waters above, celestial consciousness, stepping into celestial consciousness. So that's an initiation, a progression. When you reach the chariot level in class, or when this comes up, when I see a lot of, if I do an assessment for you and I see across your 7 chakras, I see 2 or 3 knights, it means you're actually coming to me ready for initiation. I like to see it, but I only like to see it if the person's ready for me to put them to work. Because I can't teach you with you just learning information, because you're a little bit past that already. You may not know it. So if I can't put you out into the world getting results, it's a little hard for me to teach you. And it's just a little background story for me to tell you. But that's what we're doing. So we're driving life forward according to drive, desires, passions, motivations. And then so that means that we need to come to light on something. Our soul and our self needs to authentically emerge. So we need to master our divinity. And that would be what we incarnate for. We would incarnate to master our divinity. Because strength, courage, and wisdom. So, and this is in the moon house. So that would have been our journey through the physical, learning how to feel the harvest, would have given us strength, courage, and wisdom to leverage spiritual principles. See, a lot of people want spirituality, but they're weak. Because the moment they learn a spiritual truth, they spiral out of control. That's not how it's supposed to be, or that doesn't feel good to me, or, oh, this truth really makes me not feel good as a human. And it's like, all that fear is bullshit devilish. And, I want to tell you what I think about you, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to do your work. So shut the F up and do your work, or I'm going to tell you what I really think about you. And that's kind of like the universe. Like the universe does the same thing. Okay, well, here's the truth, but you got to get your performance review, and you might not be ready. It's like that Matrix conversation, red pill, blue pill, Take the blue pill, go back to sleep, wake up believing whatever lie you choose to believe. Take the red pill and you discover how far down the rabbit hole really goes. And see, the thing about the rabbit hole is you never learn about the rabbit hole until you realize that you're in the rabbit hole. It's like being an American. You learn about finance, for the most of us, when you're 35 filing for divorce and going through your first bankruptcy. Nobody teaches you about dollar cost averaging, investing, debt, assets, net worth, liabilities when you're in high school, when you're learning how to graduate. What do? They just teach you how to sign a check and get into debt. You go to your first day of college and there's this little booth in front of class or in the quad telling you to sign up for a credit card. Then they have your student loan, they have your credit card, then they get your first car loan, and then they get your mortgage, and they own you for life, and you don't learn anything about what you were here to come and do. You just get conditioned and programmed into being a debt slave, a thought slave, a job slave. And so that's this, knight turning into a king of pentacles. So that means that knight incarnates from the spiritual into the astral and then drops down into the physical. Now, strength in the moon house means powerful visions. So when you do find the truth, it should move you. Like, you see, I'm sitting here saying, I'm so frustrated. I'm furious. Things are not going the way that I want them, and I want to throw a tantrum. I'm acknowledging what's alive in me. There are some people that disassociate, detached, become fragmented when they have spiritual thoughts, spiritual feelings. So they never get to that. They get to this. And, okay, I've been hearing so much in my head. So the song I'm hearing right now is You Know Me Better by Roisin Murphy. I feel like she's talking to her oversoul. Oversoul. In that song, Roisin Murphy, You Know Me Better is the name of the song. So the hangman. So this is our action. So this is when we come out of heaven. We get put in the matrix. But see, that means we're already divine as it is. And see, that's the whole Jesus died for our sins as well. Jesus is our solar plexus. It's our place where we can perceive fear and all those things. Ego, greed, hunger. It's where the devil lives. There's a being in your stomach and there's a being on your head. If y'all didn't know this, that's the truth. Okay? Thank you for your donation, Breaking Barriers. Wow. So this is a person who needs to take on the physical experience to unburden themselves. So I'm frustrated right now. Things just really aren't. The flow is all choppy. I feel out of alignment. Like my priorities are mismatched. Things are running through me. I can't keep the channel. Something's off, and I'm gonna get pissed. So what I'm gonna do is just spritz myself. This is Florida water with hyssop in it. Hyssop is Jupiter, so it's like it takes hexes off. If somebody's interfering with you, if you have a dirty client, if you're gonna walk into a church, you know, if you're about to start doing spiritual work, it's good to put Florida water in your hands and hyssop on you. Usually, it's good to put hyssop in a little bit of salt in a bowl and rub the back of your neck and inside your arms. I can take high frequencies. I'm the high frequency. Okay, let's pull a new record. Because Mama's mad. Mama's mad. So, I feel better after the Florida water. So, let's figure out whatever card comes out upright that I like, I'll pull that record. Okay, well, this one is the one talking. Okay, so this one really wants to come. This is frustrating. This is really frustrating for me. Things are just off. Things are off. So, give me a moment. I'm very frustrated right now. So, when this happens, sorry, y'all, but I'm going to tell you what I do to mother effers that mess with me. Y'all think I bust a root on you? I just look in the depths of your soul. I'll come into your dreams and I'll make you scare your own damn self. So whatever face that I've become that represents you and your shenanigans, I make it haunt you. I don't have to stick a root on you. You've already sent energy my way. You've already fucked yourself. Okay. So hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. And I've come to open up the record. For those who want to know the mystery of the soul origins, why it is that we have mystery schools and the like. So I'll be shuffling in the gatekeeper of the mysteries, the keeper of the ancient mysteries, into the deck here. And we'll go ahead and pull the record and see what comes out. Okay. So again, the key I'll be using to open the library today is the Hermit. L'ermitilla. Okay, so so we got out 3 paces and they want me to stop for a second. So it seems like discernment will bring healing, especially on a soul level. So when we learn how this world works, or we learn how we fit in this world and what this world is for us, that will bring healing. And I've been invited to change this around because, again, it says that I needed to look into my own shadow right now before I talked about liberating other people's shadows. I get overtaken by collective energy, but I'm not a follower. But I always want to be in the collective, but I never want to follow it. So it was personal issues that was blocking this out. So again, like I said, hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. We were having some technical difficulties, so you might notice that portions of this video are going to be cut out. That's totally fine. We welcome it. So let's go ahead and do it here. Okay. So I got a bigger, brighter, better record. I'm just going to get this down, and then we'll go from there. Okay, the devil keeps coming back. And see, the devil's about to go into his own house. Something's going wrong, and just so you know, I am like literally fighting this entity. So I crowned the reading with this, and I said, show me whatever shadow that there is. And then the answer to whatever the shadow is would be in the devil house. And it's going to bring me some truth. So it's saying that I'm on a devilish journey, whatever, right now. So I would question my own intentions. And you know, I've been doing a lot of cleaning and a lot of excising my own shadow, like literally cleaning and going around and purifying a lot of me and things. And I just redid my grid in my place here and a whole bunch of things. And as I'm going through, I noticed there's been a lot of dormant shadow energy that just hasn't moved through. It hasn't gotten processed. And there's parts of my practice that I do faithfully, and there's parts of my practice that I do conveniently. And it's leaving me open and susceptible to interference. And I've also been experiencing a lot of reality into who's in my life that really should be there and isn't. And I take on and I love a lot of people who are actually not there for me. People buddy up to me to learn my secret, to try to figure out why I'm so full of light. And they'll pretend to be my friend, and then when they think they know a couple things about why I'm so joyful and abundantly joyful, then they try to poke holes through me and go away, taking my happiness with me, so to say, or I at least need to convince them that they took my happiness when they left. And these things kind of came out to the surface, you know, and that's the same thing we all go through, that drama, haters, those types of things. And I realized that I have this thing about me where I kind of blab my mouth. I tell too much of my business, what I got going on, what I'm good at, who I am, and some certain things I just keep my mouth shut about. And I hate to like come out with this right now, but literally I'm getting a beat down by the goddess, as you could see. And I keep just coming up against the devil, coming up against the devil. So that's what it is. I mean, they're saying that I'm about to say something that's going to get me in trouble. I'm about to say something that I'm going to need to take offline. And why the fuck spend all this time putting into video using the channel when I'm just going to have to delete it? So like, shut your mouth is what it is. Like, learn how to have a subject that is not going to take you into you making yourself susceptible to bitches that like to bust roots. So if you want to know what you're observing, that's what it is. I'm having my own boss interrupt me. Because this is me when I'm being mounted by my spirit, because the spirit that made this spirit is my boss. And this can be negative or positive thing. This is when you leave a legacy behind on earth and all your ancestors keep being born into it. So the Rothschilds, every Rothschilds, they inherit $1 billion at birth. That's a behemoth. You don't think $1 billion takes on a soul of its own in the astral? Okay, so this is really the being that rules over the physical and the thing that sucks up all your power. So I'm giving my power away to something alive in me that I don't need to give it to. But I've become my own devil. Therefore, I'm trying to destroy myself because my intention is in alignment with my spirit. So there's a little mystery class for y'all. Y'all ain't gonna see that again. So we're gonna ping again. All right. So let's equal it out. Let's even it out. This record is fighting me. This record does not want to be open. Oh, somebody doesn't want me to open up this record. I know something's really strange when a record doesn't want to open because I can open every record. Like, I know a lot of things are taboo in the universe, but I am that oracle, you know. It's weird. Gosh, stop it. Okay, well, let's fighting with this one. Okay. Okay. Devil's still here, but this one we could do. Okay. Okay. I'm getting laughed at. You guys are cruel. I don't like jokes like that. You don't need to be cruel to prove a point. That's rude, in my opinion. Okay, so we got it here. So the first 7 is, I looked at the clock, 7, 2, 3, 4. 72 is my absolute favorite number, and 2, 3, 4 is my favorite sequential number. So 7, 2, 3, 4 is when I'm going to cut the camera out. We've been having technical difficulties, by the way, so check the show notes if you want a copy of the tableau I'm using for the medicine I'll be giving. Sometimes you'll notice that I lift up a card and show you, clarified with the guidance of the medicine of that. That's the tablet that I'm using. Normally, I only do it with court cards, okay? So I'm using Tarot of Thoth by Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. We opened up the record to the Justice card. So this is Ma'at. So we're in the halls of justice here. And it's because there's an ambition to be authentic with oneself, to go forward and drive forward. I don't understand that question, so I'm just gonna shut this down. The comments are still on. I'm just gonna ignore them for a moment because they're distracting me. So this is a new law when the Justice card shows up in the full house. It means having to write your own law, go with it your own self. You're gonna have to figure it out as you go, and you're gonna have to continue to stay in alignment as you go. So that's interesting because that means finding your own source, and that is why we're here. And see, in the mystery school, I would want to initiate people in that way. I would want to initiate people into the knowledge of how to stay in alignment. And the initiation is the night, and then the wands would be etheric. So etheric could be the etheric body, the causal body, could be the spirit, spiritual technologies, spiritual insights, spiritual movement. So it could be projection travel, quantum projection travel. Would also be technologies, so fire magic, intention, understanding the kind of the petitions that you write in red ink, red candles. Lots of different things coming up there, but it's about being in balance. So one thing about this night is that they're not out there battling battles. They're righteous in their nature. They're calling upon the universe to balance things out and for things to become just. And the Fool card shows up in the Sun house. So being in alignment, being imbalanced. Ah. Doomed from the start. Okay. So this is a battle lost, but it's okay. So, we're going to go to the temple. We're going to go to the temple. We have to. We have to. Because shit's a little crazy. And, well, it's the only way this is going to work. Because, I was recently told okay, so I was recently told not to do what I was doing for what I was trying to do it for, and I did it anyways. I completely forgot. So now we're using the Night Sun Tarot, and we have the Death card here. So when I talk about being an apocalyptic midwife, this is apocalyptic midwife guidance, and it is quite scary. So this is going to be a little gnarly, and we're going to start it off at... So in 20 seconds, we'll start it. Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. Pardon the light. I usually have a different light situation going on, so there's that. And I'm doing a little bit of medicine for the mystery school, so this sermon will go in aspect with that. I'll call it the mystery of our soul origins here. You'll notice that I'm talking a lot about the mystery school, but for those who are not interested in the mystery school, this will cover that, okay? So the mystery school for me is my version of a coaching program. It is the spiritual aspect of my coaching program. And I'm a spiritual person, but this illuminates, elucidates, enumerates the spiritual technology behind everything else that I do. Everything else that I'm doing has spirituality built into it and astrology built into it. So a lot of times people are kind of like, well, you know, teach me astrology, teach me tarot. If you're working with me, I'm already using tarot and astrology principles. You just might not know about it. Okay, and that's really what the Mystery School is. The Mystery School is my spiritual coaching program. Now, in the traditional days, in the olden days, Mystery School was it was basically where you would learn about the afterlife or about everything you needed to do to have a successful afterlife. So, translation, today we would call that spiritual ascension, spiritual liberation. It was so that you wouldn't get trapped in the incarnational cycle. And a lot of things were going on. You know, the Egyptians were under the Anunnaki because they were under the Atlanteans. Atlantis was before Egypt. Egypt, Sumeria, and Babylon, those were all the same civilization. You might think they were different. You might think that they were in different parts of the globe. The truth is that the world for a long time was under one global government. And they had different districts. And that's what, so Sumeria, Egypt, they were all the same exact thing. And they might have been before or after each other, but there was a 40-year kind of span, 40,000 year cycle where it was one pharaoh. Earth was under one pharaoh. Okay, so that's what the great mystery schools of Isis taught you, was that we are all from Sirius, and that our God that created humanity here on Earth is through the Sirius gate. And see, Sirius leads to another universe where all the gods and gods live. Okay? So that's what the mystery schools are, and that's what the mystery schools are teaching. And we're going to go into this right now. So let me fix the camera here. I'm just going to move it. You're being a kunker schmunker. Okay. So I haven't been to the temple in a while because I don't have the right camera. I'm recording off my iPad right now, so pardon me. I need to buy a new camera because I miss coming to the temple to work because we just work. So we're going to be opening up the story of the incarnation, how we're imprisoned here on Earth. So right away, I came to the temple. They wanted to hear it. And the devil left. The devil's like, I'm not messing with you, dude. Well, that's right, Mr. Mother Effer. Bye, boy, bye. Tell him, boy, bye. Tell him, boy, bye. Oh, that was funny. Okay. Okay, so the story is cooperating. This record wants to be open. Who is laughing? Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. All right, so the story starts out with the moon. In the moon house, we have the hermit, and the hermit is coming with the guidance of the hangman. So we've been spending a lot of time not knowing that we're imprisoned in a matrix, and we are in those pods in the matrix. Something is taking our soul's consciousness. We have too many cords in us, and we were implanted with these cords. So incarnating in the third dimension right now, you incarnate under conditioning and programming that allows the oversoul of the darkness to bleed you dry, to utilize you as if you were a battery. That's the reason that there's polarization, so that you be split and you be giving your power away to the darkness, and you become the source for the darkness to feed off, and you lose track of your own source. And when you no longer can tap into source, that's when you come up under a slave vessel, meaning melanin, deficient, recessive, and other things, schizophrenia, bipolar, those types of things. And this is because we need to stop investing our energy in things that don't serve us, And this is further explained by the magician. So in order to understand that our beliefs create our realities and that we're stuck there, we need to become innovative and to believe. Also, they're telling us in the movies what they're doing to us right now, too. That you already can conceptualize through the movie industry, Hangman, what they're doing already. And stop investing in it. Don't give your money to Marvel Comics, even if it's Wakanda Forever. You're giving your money to a person who is not from that culture and who, is profiting off that culture. Don't give your money, your time, energy, or money to people, places, or things that aren't in alignment with your soul's path. And over the last 7 days, you should have discovered something alive in you that would have been latent and is now manifest. So that latency should be respect, self-respect, self-worth, something that you can do for yourself. Now, you're not going to get accolades for it. You might have been successful, but you don't feel that success. You might have been respectful, but you don't feel that respect. And it's around your self-control and self-value. But your self-value here is like your ability to create value, what it is, how you position yourself. Not your self-worth and value in relationships, how you feel about yourself, but how you market yourself. And the reason is that there's the devil. So control freaks, there's somebody around you who's a boss. And if you don't have a boss, it could be the controller or it could be the government as well. They are demonic in nature. They are a priestess to the devil. And essentially, the only thing I can say is engaging in governmental politics, engaging in beliefs that the government gives you is literally giving your soul to the devil. Celebrating Christmas, saying the word hello, believing in NASA, watching Fox News, all these things are devilish in their nature. And literally, that's what they want to do. This is the New World Order card over the divine feminine. See, also when you see the Empress, especially if you're a man, that talks about your insight, your self-worth and value, your sense of self, your authenticity, your connection to spirit, your connection to your God, the covenant you have with your God. Okay, so over the next 3 months, we're going to begin to see how we're underneath the devil through what the government has done, the institution of government. And you need to stop playing. You need to stop playing the sun. You need to see it for what it is, and you need to walk away from it. Don't choose that option. See yourself, value yourself more, and that's what you're going to do. So all of this struggle has shown how valuable you are, but only to yourself. And see, it's going to require temperance, because we should have died. It should have drained us for life. But it didn't. So we thought something died and it hasn't. And when I held up this card, I heard that cancer is an industry. So you can see just how negative the government is getting, because they're trying to eradicate us. But the thing about it is they want to profit off of it. And I heard that when I tapped into this card. In the Temperance House, we have this. We've been feeling for a while, especially we're not receiving the guidance from our higher self. Our higher self isn't able to come in and leverage us because of the conditions and agreements that we've made, the programming, the belief system, and the spiritual technology. Our spiritual beliefs would take us out of connection with our soul in heaven. This is our etheric body, our causal body. So that also can be the chemtrails, the fungicides, herbicides, pesticides in the food, the GMO, genetically modified organisms. That could be the vaccinations, the medication. That could be the Wi-Fi wires, maybe not now, but especially when the 5G gets rolled out. It's the institution. It's blocking our ability to receive guidance from up above, and it's true. Not everything can come together. So the energy's been sent to us, but it won't arrive in the same or in a proper or in a likeness of. So the womb of creation it's prickly. It's not warm and fuzzy. It's cold and prickly. So it's like the goddess is sending the pleroma, the goddess is sending the love, but we're surrounded by power lines. Or the goddess is sitting there shade, but we're sitting right next to the Wi-Fi receiver. So it's not happening. The Tower card, there's some type of break in communication. And see, when the Tower comes to the Hierophant house, it means corrupted traditions, or seeking help for a violent or destructive pattern, or needing to heal or needing to receive help. So we're under abuse. We're in a relationship with an abuser called our government, and we need to get out. And the way to get out would be to go on this journey and heal. So keep in mind all the things that we want to build for ourselves, and we need to build them somewhere else. So all of the institution does need to get dismantled, is what this is saying. And so we need to dismantle it with powerful questions from the soul. In the mystery school, this is called Lo Brahmano. That's the action. See, I'm writing my own deck. And in my deck, the Hermit is called Lo Brahmano, the Brahmin. And it means you need to ask questions. Your soul needs to come through into the physical and ask questions. Don't ask them as a human. Don't ask them as the mind. Don't ask them as your brain. Ask them as a cosmic citizen here on Earth. And that's going to dismantle the system. I needed that channel to come through. And yeah, so it's true, because our Brahmanhood is in jeopardy. They've taken our Christ and they've left us with Jesus. And see, that's the whole game. That's how they're able to take control of the universe or our world. And see, that's the secret. That's the mystery, the moon card. And that's why our ancestors are so important right now as well. So that we do have self-worth and value. And this truth is going to come out over the next month. So when was the last moon? The 26th. And so on the ninth and onwards, we're going to start learning what this secret is. What it is. There's something that the government is planning. And we know it. We know it. Something to polarize us so that we split. And they're also going to do some type of event at the end of the year to get us ready for a series of propaganda or paranoia or soul separation, divisiveness. Fragmentation is what it's called. So that at the end of next year, they have our permission to do something that takes away our sovereignty even more. Let me see what the medicine is for this, because they just told us what the problem was. So that is the mystery of our soul's origin here, what I just said. The thing you put on me has got me so confused. Can somebody help me? Tell me, what should I do? So that's the mystery being revealed there. Government manipulation. Is this love just a curse? Okay, so now we're going to see how they've enslaved the goddess, what they've done to... well, that's the secret that we're holding on to. No, we're going to look up how to heal this. But the Empress is in the 4th house, so... I need your heart to open up. Okay, so we're going to write a petition really quickly. to the goddess. And we're going to ask for clarity and rapid healing. And I'm going to put some of my herbs here to make sure that the right spirits get it. Certain spirits are attracted to different energies from the herbs. And then I'm going to send it over into the spiritual. So I'll take care of that here. I always like to put this a little bit more herbs, because it's getting gnarly here. I can sense it. They don't want this content out there. It's really not my problem. Okay, so we have the record. I'm going to keep on going, but I just wanted to send that off. Let them know I'm coming in the spiritual so they can just be on the ready. Okay, so, okay, yeah, 2 5s out the gate. So that means this is a conflict reading. The first 2 cards out, if they're doubles, that means that's actually, so this is a fight with the 5th dimension. There's a being there. And see, those beings, those nasty ones, you have to burn them. You can't freeze them. You gotta light them on fire. And I can feel something scratching at my third eye. Yeah, the Gwyn Towers. So you know what I mean. Okay, so this is a good journey. And so when the temperance shows up in the full house, it means a new temptation. And it's talking about the divine feminine. So over the next week, we should work on our self-worth and value, and make investments in our self-worth and value, because that is going to give us the vision for our future. And see, this will be healing and victory for us. And this healing and victory, we need to open up a gate. See, our hearts are closed to what it needs. Our hearts are open to the wrong things and closed to the wrong things. Temperance card. So in reverse, it means our hearts are not open to the right things, and they're close to the right things and open to the wrong things. And see, we need to drive life forward in some way. And remember, that's this queen's plans. The queen is in the empress house. So that would talk about the spiritual body. And this would talk about the spiritual travel through the world itself. Through spiritual guidance and spiritual initiation. This is the Hierophant. We will achieve, well, the devil will be rooted out. So it is the Tower card, but look, whenever this is in the reverse, it means whatever you've been giving to somebody, it's going to come back to you. And we already have the 7 of Pentacles out on the board, and that's in the devil's house. So this Tower is going to bring the devil down, and we're going to get whatever they've been taking from us. Whatever they've been keeping from us, taking from us, is going to... See, whenever this is either getting out of debt or getting paid back finally after a long time, in reverse. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So whatever we've been giving over to the darkness is finally going to return to our hand. See why I had to come to the temple. I wasn't able to do that in the ministry. Okay. And, well, it seems like we're in some... And we also need to go and get in the right soul group. So we need to be in the right soul group. We need to find our tribe. We could also talk about ancestors as well, but this would be, you should be getting messages from ancestors then. Now, some of us will be conflicting with ancestors, but what that means is if we're fighting with ancestors, with family members in the third dimension, it would mean that spiritually we need to work with our ancestors. And the person that we're having fights with, the ancestors will be related to those people that we're fighting with. It's called karmic expediation. It's not something that you can understand mentally. And you'll notice that people that you've been good with, usually you're going to start fighting with them. And that's why we're on this journey to heal. See, the thing about the Nine of Cups is you wash away your soul. You wash your soul in a way so that when you die, you can go higher, not lower. 9 is a number of completion. You need to get to a number 9, or when you die, you have less ashay than you did when you were born. So you need to leave with more light than you did when you went in, or when you face Ma'at, you won't. So that's the secret, our Brahmanhood, our divinity. This is the lifetime when we can make something finally over. But what we need to do is use strength, courage, and wisdom we're having trouble leaving people, places, and things. Because our mind is creating blockages. We're not waking up to this aha moment. The trumpet is sounding. And that's this Chariot card, moving forward. See, we need the light and the dark in order to move forward in a straight line, in order to remain balanced. But see, in the Judgment House, it means finally facing something deep alive in you. You don't even have the energy to face your own darkest, deepest fears. And see, that's this mystery of Isis. This is the Star card. It's an opportunity. You're endowed with something through birthright of humanity, of being a human being. And that should be this coming to the womb of creation in the physical, getting everything that you need. Discernment, carnal knowledge with that red. Look, there you have the Mercury body. They were talking about building God's house, but like you can be God as well. Because when I picked this up, I heard building God's house. Because you have the World card in the Hermit house. So that's a beautiful teacher, a worldwide teacher, a teacher of overseas skills like other languages, teaching overseas. And teaching also means your path. When you go on a path, you learn, and your soul, your higher self teaches your lower self. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles. So when I see that, to me, it's an international temple network, like in India. There's 9 different places that I can go to for a Shiva temple. Makes sense? There's actually more, but in the network that I belong to. Well, it's true. You have to strip the reality. So learning will strip. See, that's okay. So what that meant is that going on a journey to learn will unlock, it will complete the cycle for abundance. And that'll be generational. So generational abundance is ancestral karma. Now, abundance could also be wealth, that's true. But it would have been stripping the reality, stripping the soul. So when you're disappointed, when this movement needs to come to the emotions, that's what disappointment looks like. And it's things from the previous lifetime. The moon is stuff you bring into this lifetime with you from last lifetime. That's what the moon is talking about. So stripping the wounding that still impresses upon the soul. When you go on that journey to learn, you will get rid of the wounding that you've been carrying with you lifetime after lifetime. And what that's gonna do is the moon card. So again, until you know what it is that you want out of life, until you can create a reality in the actual world from your mind and not the world that they give you, you're not gonna have self-worth and value. You're gonna be needing to take from external to feed what's alive inside. And that's the devil. It needs to be proper boundaries. But this is when you're blocked out, or when you can only get your needs met by giving something of yourself that's worthwhile. Your self-worth and value. That's that whole a man is a plan BS story. And it's true. You need to take your energy back there. So that's the story. I'll do one more. So let me look into love and see why some of us might be struggling there. So I'll look into love really quickly and see how that... Because, you know, love does really help people heal a lot. But a lot of us get stuck on the story of marriage and that cheating is bad and all these other things. And it's like, okay, it's not that it's not bad, but you're judging from the third dimension, and the type of love that you're talking about, you wanting, or the talking about experiencing, it should overdo that third dimensional experience. If you're seeking the kind of love that you're seeking, those myopic things in the third dimension, they don't matter because you're supposed to be liberated from them. So yeah, he may be cheating, but a twin flame situation is in the 5th and 6th and 7th dimension. Cheating is something that happens in the 3rd dimension because you'll notice in the spiritual realm, there is no such thing as monogamy. Monogamy means you're a slave. Yeah, in the 3rd dimension, homosexuality might be bad because you need, you know, generation of new generations. You need to bring in children, but gender is something that only happens below the 5th dimension. The soul is agender, meaning neither male or female. The body itself is drag. So if you can't see that, then of course you're stuck in the 3rd dimension. Example. Yeah, they're really like, this record is going to be intense for you to interpret. I do need an artist for my deck. I don't have all my concepts ready, so I'm not marketing for that. You can email me at oracle@vertexofabundance.org. Okay, so ultimately, when I put the Lovers on the crown, it told me no. So love is now in the Emperor house with the devil. So holding on to love, making it anything other than what it's come into your life to be, makes it demonic. And happily ever after is in the devil house. So the whole wanting to nurture into creation happily ever after will enslave your soul. Because a real soulmate is in heaven. They're not on earth with you. And, you know, a soulmate in heaven is fine. And they can be entered into a member through your soul group. So in the star house, we have trying to go down a journey that ain't going to bring us no nothing. This journey is not going to get you anywhere. And you should see that if you had a little bit more self-discernment. But if you're busy taking other people's inventory and not your own, okay, go down that journey. Spy, get on Facebook, get on Instagram, go through their email, think you know what you know, but it's not gonna get you anywhere. And again, self-worth and value. You're on this journey for the wrong reasons. It's not gonna help. You're not gonna win that game. And unfortunately, that's a very naive lesson, and you're in a world of naivete. You're in a fantasy land. Wow, they warned me this wasn't going to be a pleasant record. And it's a delusional type of, because you'll get all the creation in the astral of all of your sycophantic thinking, but it's not going to equate to anything down here in the physical except karma. So you'll get your fantasies, but in the astral, the moon card is the astral. The moon card is the sun in the 8th house or the moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is the astral plane. And it's a world of illusion. So you're creating a fantasy world with all this hoping, wishing, praying, yearning, conjuring up some sickness, frankly, because it's better to love yourself, loving, hoping, wishing, dreaming, pining after somebody who won't even turn around and acknowledge that you exist. This is an unpleasant record. And see, strength, courage, and wisdom is what will get you out of it. And see, it's a strong dream to have, and you do have this, but you have it in the spiritual, not in the physical. So things won't come together. You actually need, it's not going to mesh well. Especially with the current belief that you have. Magician. In the Emperor house, that means a person who's either a good liar or they're really good at sales. So again, you can't sell somebody or convince somebody to love you, and you're lying to yourself if you're concocting the story, this fantasy, this dream illusion. They warned me this message was going to be naughty, and it's intense. It's like I'm beating you. I got to check the time, pardon me. By the way, there's a flash sale going on. So if you email me at oracle@vertexofabundance.org, it's regarding the Mystery School. And it's over at when I run my errands tonight. I need to make a late night errand. So when I leave the house, the flash sale's over. So it's saying here that we need to stop holding on to other people's emotions. And see, this if we're pining over a man, this man likes weak females. This man likes it when women are spilling all the hearts and dreams out to him. He's probably a Scorpio rising, an Aries sun, a Scorpio sun. He can have a Scorpio Mars. Ooh, those boys can get you to give them the poon poon, give them your hope, your wish, your dreams, and he'll leave you depleted. But he likes to have many. He likes to have many female choices, and you to have one male choice. Having people pine after him gives him self-worth and value. And see, that's the whole control freak aspect of it. It would be a powerful love, but the powerful love is who are you in relationship with? Okay, so the temple has a new artist in residence, monk in residence, and that's why I'm distracted, because there's a new voice in the house I don't recognize. And I need to, as the, as the madam, I need to go address some business because it's their first day in residence here. So that's why you see me distracted. Okay. In the devil house here is this with the Empress. So your self-worth and value is an addiction. You feel good when somebody... And see, y'all have enough to share, but it's in the devil house. So y'all have enough love karma to share. But you need to see that it only brings suffering. The sun is what you see clearly. It only brings suffering. 9 of Swords. And this is the aha moment. So the moment you begin to temper that out, just get your needs met and let them go, guess what you do? You open up the door to better abundance. Which means some good wood. But like my madrina tells me, just, diddle him and let him go. Don't let him sleep in your bed. Because we got to get our needs met, but thinking that tying our soul down to one person, especially if you are a Da female, it doesn't work that way. So, and then the temperance would actually be discernment according to spiritual principles. And that's, remember, another queen, and that's going to enable you to move on and to cut the cords of any karma. A Da female, Da is a certain type of spirit, like Mami Da or Mami Wata. Those are Da. Da is spirits from the sun and the moon. Astral spirits, quantum spirits. Also ninth dimensional spirits that incarnate through the sun. Okay, so if you find discernment by practicing spiritual principles, what will happen here is it will start cutting cords. Unfortunately, I think when you find equilibrium, it'll start creating conflicts so that the old belief systems get repelled away. So a lot of times you start respecting yourself, and then you'll notice that your friends stop respecting you because they only respected you when you didn't see your self-worth and value. Or sometimes you'll start... Like when I started my practice, the lover that I had at the current time started picking fights with me all the time. And then I actually overheard him telling somebody that he didn't think I would do good in my new business, that he was hoping that I would fail because I was spending more time on the business than with him. He actually liked having me as arm candy and taking me around, and I didn't have any time to keep him company on his own fuckery. And so you'll move on, but understanding moving on, you'll move on from conflict, and conflict will be created because there's corrupted traditions. You're not with the right people, places, and things for the right reasons. And it's the whole love situation. So the way you're going about nurturing and creating and building and sustaining in the physical dimension, the love vibration is in the tower house. It's going to destroy, the change you need to make in order to be more abundant is stop making plans for love. Queen in reverse means your plans will not come together. And you actually need to go on a journey of fulfillment, hope, wish, purification. And that's the death card, frankly. So what that's going to do is it's saying release this waiting. You're waiting on love to come through. Release that. Remember, you said your plans are not going to come together. If this was upright, this would mean that she's going to release it and then her plans will come together. In reverse, it means it's not going to go anywhere. You need to let it be. Love's not going to come through. And the coming and going, it can be manifested, but it's not going to be manifested from waiting. It's going to be manifested from you doing something yourself. So love yourself, build yourself up, give the precedence and all of the hoping, wishing, and dreaming to yourself. Release, let go of the need for something. Sometimes you'll get what you want, but it's not going to happen the way that you thought it would. Sometimes you don't need the thing that you thought you wanted. Release can mean a whole level of things. It means going with the flow, working on yourself, working on your spiritual health, and stopping this whole man is a plan fuckery. Okay. Un momento, por favor. I lost my place here. So that's the thing. See, when you're doing in the light, when you're making decisions, when you're bartering with the light, great. This means you're... See, 2 is doing business with. The 2 of Pentacles is negotiation, bartering. You're doing business with God, you're doing business with the devil. It's all according to your strength, courage, and wisdom. And see, that's the Wheel of Fortune house. So if you find strength, courage, and wisdom, and you do business for the right reasons, you negotiate, you barter for the right reasons, you give your energy to the right things, it'll open up a gate. Okay? And see, that's this wake-up call that you've been waiting for, the aha moment. And see, this is what, because up until recently, it would have meant that your beliefs were creating loss, creating destruction, were opening up a gate for the devil to come through. And now look. So the 5 of Pentacles is when your belief system is manifesting lack, less. Your belief system is blocking manifestation. Your beliefs no longer block your manifestation. And that's how you move forward into the future, bigger, brighter, better. You need to leave the past behind. That means, well, what is the price for your new future? Your old future. What is the price for your new self? Your old self. What is this price for the new, bigger, brighter, better life? The old, less than, lower than, weaker than life. The sacrifice for the new life is your old self. In order to be a bigger, brighter, better you have to kill the old you. So remember, it is illogical to go on a journey that isn't going to give you fulfillment on your own. And that's the thing you need to see, that it's not a journey that you're going to win. See, 2 pages is a call to action. And it's saying you need to give something to yourself. You need to work something out within yourself. But you're not ready for that journey if you have the beliefs that you have or the feelings that you have. Now, it was saying that the Queen's plans weren't going to work out. You weren't open and receptive to it. It can also mean that until you have self-worth and value, until you have abundance in your aura, in your heart, nothing's going to come together. Because this King is upright. So it does mean that it can happen. But it's only, you need to manifest it out of the spiritual into the physical. And if you spend all your time wandering around the physical, looking for something that's spiritual in the physical, and you don't look for that in the spiritual, it's not going to come. Again, this is going to be manifested out of the spiritual realm. So until you have self-worth and value, until you love yourself, until you're working on a bigger, brighter, better future, meaning having drive, desires, passions, motivations, ambitions for your own life, for your own spirit, karma, life path, destiny, you're going to be squandering your energetic and spiritual resources on this man is a planned story. If that's happening, you're going to be creating karma, devilish functions. And if you use the temperance, the strength, courage, and wisdom, the patience and fortitude to discern properly and detoxify this man is the planned story, it is going to create some repelling. It's going to get rid of people, places, and things. You will have a couple knockdown, drag out arguments, fights. People will yell at you, will leave you. But it's God letting you know that these people aren't right for you. The goddess is saying that these people aren't in alignment with where you're going. You can't take these old people to your new place, to the new you. So once you understand that, you can pull out of the spiritual into the physical that whatever it is that you're looking for. So this is the fueling the harvest, the Knight of the King of Pentacles. Now the Queen is in reverse, which means that the plan or the throne or the environment is not conducive. The world right now is not receptive to nurturing into creation love in the way that you want it, because you're going about it the wrong way. You have the wrong receptivity, the wrong emotions, and you're not honoring the goddess when you do it. The goddess does not approve. All of the pages are Venus in that suit. This is Venus in an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Venus is your covenant. It's the pact you made with the goddess to get into the physical. It's what gave you physical body and what made you sacred. It means you're dishonoring your goddess, navigating the physical while you're on earth, and you're not dishonoring the goddess with your soul, the way that you're trying to go about that love. So I'll take any final questions, and then I'm going to go smoke some medicine. De nada. Breaking barriers. So if you want to opt into the flash sale for the Mystery School, go ahead and send an email to oracle@vertexofabundance.org. I'm so glad I came to the temple and I did that. I'll start doing the Divine Lover series again. Send me an email at oracle@vertexofabundance.org. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it was splotchy. I'm going to cut it at 80, so it's only going to be 45 minutes. So let's do the sermon. And all my cards are over there, so I'll be right back. Pardon me. Okay, so we'll do the Angel Oracle and the Rumi Oracle. And you know what song I just heard? Good Morning, Starshine. I hate that song. The Brady Bunch annoys me. But it's coming through. The earth says hello. So that's talking about Heros Gamos, sacred union of divine opposites. You know, the Mystery School talks a lot about Heros Gamos. Here's the thing, the secret for love. You come here, your eternal partner is Great Spirit. If you are a light worker, you're already married to the heavens. And your partnership can come into the physical through a member of your soul group. So you need to have what's called Heros Gamos, which is the physical anchoring of the other side of your spirit, the heavenly aspect of your spirit. Once you anchor this into the physical, thank you, Lisa. That was very annoying, but I got a new deck for the temple. So especially for the Mystery School. And what we were doing was we were talking about the Mystery School, and they don't want me talking about the Mystery School anymore with the Aleister Crowley. It's good to learn and practice your skills, but once you have skills, it's better to leave it. So, and I forgot that Anubis told me not to bring Crowley around him. And I totally, yes. And I totally forgot. So, oops. I love thought to learn, but once you have a few tips and tricks already, you can get away from it. So the Night Sun Tarot is the Mystery School. The Temple is the Mystery School deck. The Temple deck is the Thoth. Okay. Temperance card and Ego, the Devil card. Angel and Devil. There you go. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compliance, waiting for perfect timing. This is Archangel. This is the higher self as well. A perfect sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So this is funny because the twin flame connection is the Temperance card, and then the false twin flame or the karmic soulmate is the Devil card. And the funny thing is, this is your higher self, this is your lower self. So that's the thing. Most people come in and they look for another lover in the physical, and it's no. You want to embody yourself in the physical, and then you'll attract a person who can mirror that back to you. And when you want to be, the closer you go to your twin flame, the more of your authentic self you're getting mirrored back to you. That's a little secret. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things. So you keep wanting this lover and you think that you need to find them. You find your love at a higher vibration. You find your dream job at a higher vibration. You find your perfect life at a higher vibration. So people keep asking me, where's my lover? I'm waiting for him. If he's at a higher vibration. Where's my dream job? I'm waiting for them. They're at a higher vibration. They're where you are right now at a higher vibration. I don't meet anybody in Portland, but the moment I go running naked through the woods, I meet somebody. I go to Beloved Festival, I go to Lightning in a Bottle, I go to the Shaman's Gathering, I go to the Gathering of Healers, I go to Samhain, I go to Beltane, I go to Mabon, I go to, a pagan gathering, I meet a new lover. I'm sitting here on, at the Mexican restaurant having my margaritas and my pescado burrito and I'm not finding no lover, So there you go. When you're living your best life, that's when you find them. I love Crowley. That's how I learned. See, I don't suggest Crowley deck being the first deck to learn tarot, but that's how I learned tarot. Our early morning singing song. Oh my gosh, get out of there. Why not? Okay, so let's do the Rumi Love Oracle. Saba subi saba ni na da da. Song, sing, song. Gosh, that's so annoying. Woo! Look at how beautiful that is. So this is what I mean. You anchor into the physical from the spiritual, your connection. And it's you who shows the way. So in order to have bigger, brighter, better, you need to be bigger, brighter, better. Who you decide to be determines what you have, therefore who you are determines what you do, therefore determining what you have. The cloak of Christ. So when you embody the sacred feminine here in the physical, the warrior will come to you. When you become a goddess, don't you think a warrior will come to you and get down on one knee and pledge himself to you? I have straight men all the time tell me, if you need anything at all, please call me, morning, noon, or night. And it's interesting, too, because I do evoke that knighthood from people a lot. I go out and cars stop to hit on me, to let me cross the street. People open the doors. I get freebies all the time. People walk up to the street and give me money. Little kids run up and hug me. I get stray cats follow me home all the time. Dragonflies today in the backyard, they were hanging out with me. That's rare. I start thinking things and a white butterfly will go by me. I'll be like, oh, I wonder if it was a good idea to break up with somebody, and then 2 butterflies will come by me. I'll be thinking about my ancestors and a hummingbird will come through. Be enchanted. Be enchanted. Be enchanted. Oh my God. Be enchanted. Be enchanted. Look, I'll stop. Okay, so one more. I surge on the uprising wave of love. So when you're loving yourself, when you're loving life, you actually call in more. My hands high, my feet down low in this way. Okay, I had to let that out. All right, so we're going to be reading from Alana Fairchild's Rumi Oracle. This is card number 27 on page... I opened right to page 123. Love my job. Couldn't make this up. All right. Tell me the truth, beloved. I asked, love, who are you? What are you? I am the everlasting life, love said. I am the recurring joy of living. Rumi. The master speaks in a den of riches, where many precious jewels can be found. In abundance they lie, patient and yet ready to be claimed. Go, scoop them up, urges the master. The devoted ones look but cannot see. Where are these precious jewels, they cry, for we cannot find them anywhere. The master gazes lovingly at the devoted ones and responds kindly, in service, my beloveds, you shall find the jewels through service. For what is the soul but the finest and most precious of heavenly jewels? What is service but the scooping up of the soul, that it does not lie lost nor unclaimed, but instead honored for all of its precious worth and beauty, tended to until it becomes vibrant as a flawless ruby, radiant with the joy of living. So that's what I was saying. You know, where is your lover? He's at a high vibration. And see, when you're taking care of yourself, loving the self, honoring the self, perfecting the self, that's when he suddenly shows up. Because if you're harming yourself, waiting on somebody outside of you to come and give something to you, you're dishonoring, diluting, diminishing, distorting, disowning your personal power. You're destroying the self. If you're destroying the self, you're adding on karma. You're not adding on dharma. If you're adding on karma, what are you going to attract? You're going to attract a karmic partner. Okay? Divine contribution is offered to those who wish to contribute to the world. The great beloved sees what is in your heart, what it is that you wish to offer, and is saying yes to you already. So if you're thinking, don't break up with me, don't break up with me, don't break up with me, all the universe is hearing is break up with me. If you're hearing, I want money, I need money, I need money, all the universe is going to do is show you people with money and not give you money. If you're saying, bring me abundance, bring me abundance, bring me abundance, then you're going to have abundance, and that could include love. So you are being empowered to serve, to assist, to offer a genuine spiritual contribution to this planet, to become a sacred hand at work, for the will of heaven. Such is the capacity bestowed upon the soul that is wise and filled with love and therefore desiring to serve. So then, do not doubt yourself, beloved. You have been blessed with this by the Master, to find the most precious of jewels of your own soul and claim it. Cast aside doubts, then, my beloved. Yet perhaps this is not easy for you to do. Perhaps you look at the world, even your own chosen field of endeavor, and already you hear so many voices speaking. You may wonder if your own contribution would simply add noise to the cacophony. You may wonder if you can really help, if you have anything genuine to add, or if there is just too much noise anyway. You may hesitate and become fearful. Do not despair, my beloved. It is part of your divine destiny to add something of great value to this world, something that has its place even amongst all that activity, something needed absolutely in the hearts of all. The precious gift is the true silence. The true silence is peace. It is the living experience of the eternal love of the divine that asks nothing but to be received and given, and gives of itself unconditionally. The silence is present underneath even the most raucous of noise. If one knows how to access it, the true silence can only be felt through the beautiful, feeling heart. When you know how to feel for it, to surrender into it, you can transmit silence in many ways. Through the peace you cultivate in your heart, through the peace you create in your own heart, in your own daily living, through your presence, through your art, even through your own voice, written, sung, or spoken, yes, even through sound, if that is your path of service. Silence can emanate through your voice, and divine silence can be felt in the hearts of others. The true and great silence, as you may now realize, my dear angel, is not absence of sound. It is the experience of divine presence of love. So shall you trust in the wisdom of the Master who bids you to serve accordingly to the graces that you have been given. Will you choose to put aside your doubts, and instead believe in yourself and in the power of divine love that will reach out to the world through your willing soul? Ah, yes, then. I knew your brave heart will accept this empowerment. I knew you wanted to serve more than you wanted to fear. Whatever is in your heart is the method by which the great jewels shall be collected. The Master teaches us that we are all built to serve according to a higher perfection. So if to dance is in your heart, then dance. Be open and free. Do not hide. Dance. If prayer is in your heart, then pray. If you can feed the poor with food, if you can give the despairing kindness, the lost your words, and those who have turned away from the great Master a healing touch, then do so. Do so without doubt, without having to be the best or the greatest, or any other notion your mind conjures. Just be willing. Willingness, not perfection, is required from you. So then there is room for freedom to awaken you. Willingness opens you to the divine assistance, and through that empowerment and even greater joy of being will grow within your scaled heart. Your service can flow from simply being yourself in the world completely and utterly. Your radiance can become one of the sacred candles of the Holy Master. There may be many candles that hold the Master's light, and yet each of them is precious beyond compare. Be such a light. Scoop up the jewels through your service, and do not render yourself incapable through nightmares of false imaginings and smallness of mind. Yes, your heart is too big for your mind, and it will break it open, but that is okay. All right? So I'm going to go get the stink off my shoulders because I have a crappy attitude right now. And I'm going to go dance and sing and get filled with spirit again. Please check your email. I've been sending out one by one notifications for the Mystery School, letting people know what's going on. And if you didn't get an email, pop me off an email at orca@vertexofabundance.org. I love you too, Gypsy Goddess. And the Mystery School is a good way to work with me. I'm no longer taking one-on-one clients. And when I do start taking them, it'll be a 2-hour minimum. So that's just for spiritual work. If you want me to be your guru or your guide, you need to be doing spiritual work and initiation. Otherwise, you need to work with me through Lodge. I have 9 lodges you can join. The first one is called Epifania. Epifania is for all of those who are clients who are on some type of coaching workshop with me. And basically, they want help waking up from the dream, going through what's called their ego matrix. They want to remove the conditioning and the programming and take the red pill. Then once you've taken the red pill, you come to Società della Lumina, Society of Illumination, not the Illuminati. The Illuminati is the cabal. There is no actual governance of Illuminati. So Società dell'Epifania is about tapping into the divine light, finding light in the darkness. That is what it's for. And then we go to Lo Cosmico. Lo Cosmico is basically when you have found who your goddess is, who wants to work with you and help you illuminate, elucidate, enumerate your consciousness and your shape out into the physical. So basically you allow the deity or your patroness or your patron to come and mount you and move through you. So Lo Cosmico is when you're basically able to create a divine world through what's called miracle technology, spiritual technology, or epiphany technology. And then we have La Mente. La Mente is when you begin to create a spiritual world. Oftentimes other people will be involved. You're starting a business, you're creating a house, you're becoming a light worker, those types of things. And then we move into Solar Ray. Solar Ray is when you're a child of the rainbow, when you are a child of the rainbow waters, when you are a pillar of society, or when you're a pillar of community, and you are a umbrella in the storm for others to come up underneath, and you have one of the 7 colors of the rainbow. You know what your spiritual name is. Then we move into Inner Sanct. Inner Sanct is when you begin to live in a spiritual world, in a spiritual community. Okay? And then we have Universita. Universita is when you're beginning to come spiritually initiated. When you want to start doing very specific work, whether it's galactic level, earth level, planetary level, doesn't matter, okay? So the demon doesn't want me saving lives and save themselves. So what I'm
Tantrika is when you become a dakini, a sacred consort. When you get thoroughly initiated, you might be crowned by the goddess. You might do a ritual where we enshrine the goddess in your home. And the same with Lo Brahmana. But Lo Brahmana is the righteous path, and La Tantrika is the Ayizan path. So you're going to be a Hono, a Baba, or you're going to be crowned and Ayizan. But that's La Tantrika, and
Oh, gosh. Thank you for that. I was saying the last two is La Tantrika and Lo Brahmana. So La Tantrika is when you become crowned and initiated. Is when you raise your kundalini, when you basically activate your spiritual body. And so that's when we enshrine the goddess in your house. And usually you get your crown. And then it's the same with Lo Brahmana, but Lo Brahmana, you're literally doing what you're doing here on Earth, but on the galaxy. So you become like an ambassador or a consul for the Star Nations. You might represent Antares, you might represent Aldebaran, you might represent Vesta, you might represent Lyra, you might represent Pleiades, and you would do that here in the physical, and you would work a Brahmanical path in order to do that. And the great thing about this is if you're going through these types of initiations, I have work I can give you right now. You understand? So I'm looking to not be alone. I don't want to do things by myself anymore. I'm done being a control freak. I'm really ready to let the goddess move through me. And that's been my last kind of couple of months of lessons, is like I've been getting slapped around so that I can get out of the way. But I'm going to shut up and be quiet. I'm going to go edit this video. I'm going to go medicate. I'm going to go run some errands. Take good care of yourself. Check your email. If you want to be interested in the mission school, email me at oracle@vertexofabundance.org. Talk to you soon. Bye.